I have many days where I hate existing on this planet and being a human being on this planet. Now, let me tell you this. There's nothing wrong with this actual planet. Mother Earth is incredible. From what I've learned, this is actually a very beautiful planet for souls to incarnate into. It's just been taken, right? It's been taken by the parasites that created the patriarchy, a system of enslavement. And we have all been born and raised in it, right? It's been going on for a long time now. And obviously, this is the lifetime where we are here to completely eradicate, dissolve, dismantle, incinerate the patriarchy into fucking ashes. Now, that doesn't mean that the actual journey of being here and having to live through a patriarchal system and world and exist in the third dimension is fun or it's not even fucking interesting to me. It's just vapid, superficial, evil, harmful, horrendous, and if you can feel my energy, I'm in one of those moods where I'm like, I fucking hate being here. It's just one of those days. And I think it's a very normal, you know, feelings to have. I have to honor the fact that there are days where I wake up and I don't want to be here. And I just remember being a little kid and I was always like watching people growing up. I would just be an observer of people. And I would look around this place and I would be like, what's going on here? And what the fuck is this place? And why are people like this? And what's happening? And how do people exist the way that they exist? And like, how do they function the way that they function? Like, why are they so cold and mean and nasty? And I've always felt this even as a kid growing up of like watching people and feeling like they're not all online. Like, it's almost like, and now, you know, obviously in my studies and being on the path of evolution, I realize, well, when you're born in the patriarchy, and it's so fucked up and it's so oppressed and it's so enslaved and you're so programmed and brainwashed and mind controlled, a lot of people, you can feel they're so severed from their souls that it's almost like they're like non-playing characters. You know what I mean? Like, and me being like very a highly sensitive being and an empath growing up, I just could never understand how people just like knew how to be here and they were really good at it when like I felt as deeply as I felt, or you know, I observed as much as I observed. It was just like a very confusing place for any empath, for any highly sensitive being, which I'm sure, you know, a lot of you can relate to. And so I've always hated being here. And I'm not even a new soul. Like, I am an old soul. I've been here on this planet in many, many lifetimes. And I can feel it because I'm done. Okay, it's like this is the last one. Hopefully, I just gotta. Anyway, but I'm having one of those days where I'm just like I just don't like being here. I was scrolling through TikTok and I'm like watching these videos, and they're so. And this is not a judgment of anybody. Like, you know, we're growing up in a very fucked up system. You know, where they really hone in and focus and program the collective to be vapid and superficial and severed from their souls and, you know, focus on materialism and wealth and fame and, you know, seeking validation outside of you. I mean, the list goes on. And then what that creates is an entire species of people that are all of that: materialistic, vapid, superficial, you know, focus so much on the external and physicality and nothing about how to connect to our souls and how to live this human experience as divine, you know, beings having this physical temporary experience. Like, imagine what it would be like if we came to Earth before Earth was taken, right? This world was a feminine planet run by women, and it's just a place where everyone can come and have a physical, tangible experience as a human being, as a cow, as a bird, as a tree, and we all just live in harmony with one another, and we just have a great time, you know, like full of love. Like, it sounds great. Except this place was taken, and now we live in an upper realm of hell. That's what the old earth is. That's what the patriarchy is. That's the world that we have been born and raised in. It is an upper realm of hell. And if you ever want to go and dive deeper and learn more, Rachel Fiori, her episodes on this are insane. You need to listen to all of it. It's on the Masters of Self University podcast. She also has an entire series educating everybody on what what the patriarchy is, which is a cult. It's the biggest cult that runs this entire planet. And it's the reason why the world is the way it is and why we are all the way that we are. So I'm having one of those days. I'm having one of those days where I'm just like, you know what I mean? And that's just me being real. And I don't stay there. I just have to process it, and I just have to alchemize what comes up. But I'm just like, why? There's many times where I'm like, why did I choose to come here? And, I think too, the more you evolve, the more you start becoming more of who you are, the truth of you, the soul you, the more it gets harder to want to be around anybody. Like I used to always want to be around, that's not true. I've always been kind of a loner, but like, be around friends and do things. And I've always been kind of a loner, but like, be around friends and do things. And it's like the moment I'm around people, I'm like, yeah, I got to go home. I got to go be myself. You know what I mean? So all of this is to say, you're allowed to have moments and days where you just fucking hate being here, because this is a really challenging place to be with the amount of horrific shit. It's like, it's always a very jarring experience to know that things like, I don't know, the fact that there are something called the Epstein files, and the Epstein files, they talk about eating, torturing, killing, raping children. And everybody cares about it for a month, and then they're on to the next music festival, or they're on to the next trend where they dance and shit like that. Like, it's a very jarring and strange experience to be living in a world where there's genocide and war and trafficking of young children and stuff that's being revealed that is so horrific, and most people don't care. It's a very weird, jarring experience. It's what the patriarchy has done, is to brainwash us, program us to be so fragile emotionally, to be so vapid, to be so selfish, narcissistic, to be so powerless and weak, that when we hear about what's actually going on in the world, we won't do anything about it. And that's why many souls came here in this lifetime to go, no, we're going to do something about it. Which means all of us individually have to go through our own fucked up journeys to get to a place where we're ready to actually shift, to actually change, to actually become what we really are. And the becoming of what we really are, all this spiritual nonsense out there in the spiritual matrix and in New Age talking about like, you're not broken, you don't need to become anything, you just be. If we were to just be, we would never get anywhere. What actually you would do is you would anchor deeper, lower frequencies. You would anchor yourself deeper into the old earth, because you're not vibrationally, frequency-wise becoming anything new. The journey of coming back to ourselves is a becoming, which means we have to be willing and devoted to see every single thing that comes from the patriarchy, that we have absorbed, that we have imprinted, that we have consented to, that we've attached to, that we have identified with. Every single program, every single unhealed wound, every single traumatic experience, no matter how small or big, every ounce of conditioning and mind control and brainwashing, we have to be willing to see all of it, to do the work around it, to alchemize and to rise, and to be taught by true spiritual teachers that are here to teach you how to raise your level of consciousness and never stop. And in order for a being to be willing to do that, well, you got to get to a place where you're like, all right, let's fucking go, because enough is enough. And many of our souls came here to do that. And a lot of people have fallen off the beaten path because of how much the patriarchy, energetically, frequency, all of it puts out there to make sure that beings don't wake up for real, that the divine feminine doesn't rise, that they want to keep as many souls trapped as possible. They want to create as many non-playing characters as possible. They are petrified of what many of us souls came here to do and ignite within ourselves. Oh, as I'm talking about it, I'm getting all fired up. I'm getting all fucking, I'm waking up right now out of the slump that I was just in an hour ago of watching this world and being like, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. No, actually, there's a reason why I'm fucking here. There's a reason why you're fucking here. There's a reason why you're watching this damn video. Because we came here to do what they try so hard for us to not awaken to. They want to make sure that the divine feminine is snuffed out of everything and everybody. But here's the truth, okay? Is that there are many, many, many beings right now that are waking the fuck up for real. And there are many that are igniting the truth of what they are. And there are so many that are rising like phoenixes out of the motherfucking ashes. And we are here collectively to completely and utterly demolish, extinguish everything that is of the patriarchy. That's why I'm here. And I will honor the days that I don't fucking want to be here because I fucking hate being here. Thank Goddess for trees, for flowers, and for animals, because I would have been out a long time ago. I hope that this video ignites a remembrance in you to reconnect back to what we came here to do. That every time your mind and everything else that's thrown at you wants you to veer off and go over there and do that, come back to your heart, come back to your soul, and do the work that needs to be done so that we can create a world where divine beings can come and have immaculate, incredible physical experiences as whatever they choose to come in with. If you ever want to learn, mastersofselfuniversity.com. We are a metaphysical school based on the teachings and the ways of Oneness Consciousness by Rachel Fiori. It is the real motherfucking deal. I'm a third-year student there, and I will be at the school to the end of my days. And if you are interested, we are holding a free Lionsgate portal activation on 8/8. So it's free. You can sign up in the description box below, and let's create a new world. Let's become what New Earth is. Time to put in the work and fucking rise. Love you all.